Right, let's get a move on and see how many matches I go through before I'm sick of this game and move on. Would have thought this was the second week since this is our second Raw of the game. But then maybe I'm too used to Raw being a once-a-week thing. Anyway, here's a tag team match with no warning, because all of our matches will have no warning. At least there's no risk of someone running in to interrupt this one. Sorry, for some reason I couldn't skip that walk-in any faster than that. Anyway, let's see the entrances we're not familiar with in this game just yet. Again, Kane was a favorite when I was a kid. Part of me feels like I should have made him our primary character for this playthrough. But that would have made it all the more awkward for me to stop playing this game before I got to the end of Road to WrestleMania mode. And it's already going to be awkward enough just based on how abrupt it's going to be when I just stop doing more of this game. Okay, so they don't have enough of Kane's theme to do a better loop of it. I suppose it could have been worse, so I'm pretty disappointed that the Brothers of Destruction didn't have a combined team entrance. Ah well, it's an older game, they only had so much space to work with and they stuffed it with a lot of stuff. They even kept Al Snow's mannequin head. That was such a stupid gimmick to give someone, but this game had so much attention to detail they let him keep it. And to be fair, that gave him more personality than a lot of wrestlers that joined the WWE after I'd effectively given up on watching wrestling very actively. Now for Hardcore Holly. He did a solid enough job selling himself as a brutal bastard, and he was one of the notorious bullies in the locker room. Still, there's no denying his passion for his craft, even if he never got really out of the mid-card as far as I know. Apparently, he's the only person who's entered the ring in this game so far that's getting boos. Granted, getting automated boos isn't anything to be ashamed of, and heels do try to get the crowd to go against them. Still, it's a bit strange that the team with a cultist zombie and a Jason Voorhees knockoff are treated like faces, as is the man who walked in with a prop head. But the one man in this tag team match who is anything resembling normal was treated like crap by the virtual audience. Hell, I don't even remember enough about Hardcore Holly to really say if he was a heel, a face, or if he just kept showing up with little change to his character, and people would only cheer or boo him based on who he was facing. Granted, being face or heel doesn't really matter in a game like this, especially since there's literally no storyline in it at all. We're just gonna go through a series of matches until I get annoyed enough to switch to the game with an actual story. Wait, why is it that when Kane does a strike when getting up, it's a clothesline, but when The Undertaker does it, it's a punch to the balls? They're both borderline 7-foot-tall monsters that out-muscle most of the damn roster. I also don't recall Kane ever doing the chest chop. I know it's a pretty standard strike, but still, a few odd decisions in the movesets for the two characters I've got on this team. And now I can't help wishing that any of the people I used to play the N64 wrestling games with were in any way available to tag with me in this and the next game on my list. Tag matches in these games were the best kind of co-op I remember going through before Halo was a thing. I'm not really sure why my old friends went through WWF 2000 and No Mercy, then Halo for co-op, while entirely skipping over Perfect Dark. That was a damn good game. I'm also completely baffled that our teammate, who we were controlling at the start of the match, is getting his ass completely whipped out there. The AI for Al Snow and Hardcore Holly isn't anything especially difficult. but our partner AI is borderline defenseless. Now, maybe I'm just being overly harsh because I'm thinking back to the days when I had another player working with me in matches like this. Still, I've made plenty of comments about how annoyed I've gotten in the Call of Duty franchise that our allies are essentially useless. So seeing our ally here underperforming in a tag match in a completely different kind of game kind of rubs me the wrong way. Sure, it's not as bad as something like Call of Duty, where I essentially feel like I'm fighting alone in a squad, but it still feels like we can't rely on any help in a match type that is entirely about working with someone else. Apparently, it's not helped by me not really knowing the range for our harder-hitting strike moves as Kane. Again, kind of wish I had a better idea of just how much of a beating we have to give around here to put someone down. I'm sure we're doing better than the other team, just based on the fact that one of them is holding a body part, and neither of our team is doing the same, at least not yet. Still, it's all guesswork how long this match is going to go for me when I'm going through it. Really? I can't seem to get the running attack to work just right. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. How the hell did I manage to beat Stone Cold in the previous clip if I'm getting pretty slammed around by this pair of guys? I mean, granted, that wasn't much of a special move, but still, I'm really not feeling as tough as we should be, considering I managed to beat Stone Cold Steve Austin one-on-one in the previous clip. I know, a tag match is an entirely different beast than a one-on-one match, but still, yeesh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Why did I hesitate to go into the ring? It's not like either of these two has given me, as the player, that much trouble. Considering how easy it is to get a rope break in this game and how character sprites will just slide towards the ropes if you're doing a submission move. Ugh. I'm not sure if that's gonna be an issue when I get past the N64 games, but it's still annoying to have to deal with. There has been little to no tagging in this tag team match, and it's not like I've gone out of my way to prevent our opponent from tagging, or that I've pushed anything to get our partner to be more active, even if he doesn't seem especially effective. It's just a lot of chaos right now, and while I'm sure we're doing the right amount of damage here, I'm also sure we're going to get hit by another super move soon. Oh, hell. I'm not sure if we needed The Undertaker to break us out of that. All I know is that this match is going on long enough that we're really starting to gather up the inner juries here. And I just don't feel invested enough in this match to do anything other than just plain wish this match was already over. I've recorded 9 clips worth of material for this game, but I am already kind of feeling sick of the high difficulty, no real rewards thing we've got just in the second clip. Am I just gonna end its commentary on this game before I've even finished with all the footage for it, and move on to No Mercy? Dear God, I started working on the WWF N64 games to give myself a relaxing break from Metroid Prime 2. How was I supposed to know that it'd feel like this the moment I started working on commentary here. I knew I didn't have the stamina to do the entire road to WrestleMania, but I didn't think I'd be this annoyed with this game just 2 clips in. Good God, Kane has been getting his ass kicked in what should have been an easy match, and we've been controlling Kane for most of the match. Wish I could really feel satisfied that we won, but that win just came out of nowhere. Ah well, at least we're done with that match. That match felt pretty damn long to me, but compared to the matches the AI had against each other, it's been pretty damn short. Well, okay, the Triple H and Mankind match looked reasonably short. Still, these Raws and Heats have had obscene run times. Part of me wants to chuckle at how little of the arenas we're actually able to see. Wait, we are seriously going to go through the exact same match we just finished? Ugh. I'm having a hard enough time being interested in this game as a whole. And this sort of thing is just not helping my investment in what's going on screen. Excuse me for just fast-forwarding through this. Granted, I know especially in the tag team circuit that the WWF/E has done a lot of rematches between the exact same teams because the company has pretty much always been more interested in the singles part of the roster, not the tag team. But dear God, with a roster this big, they could have easily come up with a different pair of opponents for us to clash against if our next match absolutely had to be a tag team match. It just looks so weird to see Al Snow smacking around The Undertaker like this. This most certainly feels pretty one-sided against us. And that's even more confusing since we're playing as the same 2 people fighting against the same 2 people we just beat. Oh, that cheeky son of a bitch just gave us a tombstone. And it's been less than 2 minutes into this match. I should probably just come up with something to talk about that has something to do with the wrestlers in the ring right now. Just to try to kill some of my annoyance. I just checked online and saw that Hardcore Holly retired in 2008. That's pretty close to when I dropped away from pro wrestling back in around 2009. Apparently he had some victories against the likes of Kane, CM Punk, Big Show, and Rob Van Dam. Wow, that's more star-studded than I was expecting from him. He was also a several-time holder of the Hardcore Championship, hence why he's called Hardcore Holly. I'm actually kind of amazed I didn't remember that. So it's not that absurd that he's holding his own to a degree against the Brothers of Destruction, but that doesn't change the fact that he's not partnered with his brother, Crash Holly. And his partner here, Al Snow, is a glorified jobber. But again, Holly is the only one who could be considered normal in this match. In another year or two, the Undertaker's character is going to shift to his biker phase, so he's gonna be a little more normal, leaving the supernatural zombie-style wrestler idea behind until around 2004. It's actually kind of funny that most of the people I know who enjoyed wrestling back then, at best, tolerated the Undertaker doing the biker gimmick, while the others just outright hated it. I didn't feel especially strongly either way because, again, while The Undertaker was there, I never really felt he was a favorite of mine, and he wasn't the guy, even if he was constantly booked near the top. I didn't really care that much about who was wearing the card, really, since I kind of marked out to Kane in 2001 more than Stone Cold Steve Austin, the guy who was undoubtedly the top guy and the favorite. Before it was Kane, it was Yokozuna. And before Yokozuna, it was Earthquake. In WCW, it was Goldberg and Vader. I'm pretty sure if I was still into wrestling these days, that would probably be drawn into Braun Strowman. Hell, my favorite wrestler, just as I was about to give up on wrestling, was Umaga. And I'd given up in general when I found out that he died and they didn't even give him a little respectful blurb, even though that was a thing they did for a lot of wrestlers that had ever worked for the company, regardless of how long ago they had done so, like Bam Bam Bigelow. I have absolutely no idea why I never really got into Brock Lesnar or Batista when they were kind of similar powerhouses that just steamrolled through opposition. Maybe it's just the fact that they weren't booked enough like monsters in their own right. I certainly know that's why I never got into Big Show, and why I eventually dropped off of Kane as the years went by, and the character kind of shifted into something that was harder and harder to take seriously. And before I forget, dear God, this far into the match and I only managed to get a 1 count? Right, so when we're getting close to making the other guy lose, his partner comes charging in, but when we're in trouble, apparently our partner doesn't just move unless he was already in the ring with us. I most definitely call bullshit on that, and again, I can't tell who's winning here. I should have some understanding of how well we're doing, since this is incredibly similar to 2 other games I've LP'd on this channel. Wait, so Al Snow isn't gonna go to the explicit corner where he's supposed to wait? Is that a glitch, or are the partners able to wait anywhere on the apron, not just a specific corner? Why did I try to cover him outside when there wouldn't be any pinfall count outside the ring anyway? You cannot say that I don't put a lot of effort into my fights, even if it's essentially meaningless. It's a big training, though, to put a good amount of effort into every fight, when so many of these fights are just throwaway things that we're supposed to essentially forget about. And that does it. We're finally done with it. Good God, that rematch felt a lot more draining than it should have, even when I fast-forwarded through it. Please tell me our next match isn't going to be another tag match against Al Snow and Hardcore Holly. 2 matches against them back-to-back was bad enough.